But if you get to see them in live action with live bullets, you guys know what I mean, right? Yep. Hey, that's like gold right there, man. And so, it's obviously it's Friday, right? So this is a big weekend for us to get people here, yes or no?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what are we gonna do, right? Are we, tomorrow, are we gonna be at home? Are we gonna be, just doing all the,
I'm gonna eat free at every restaurant and recruit every veteran I run into.
Right. And that's my point, man. We have to get out there, guys, and just go at it. I was listening to an audio today by Art Williams. It's kind of like this, man. I find myself, right? Hey, do we have like such amazing speakers all over Primerica?
Yes.
But sometimes we have to go back to the original, go back to the source. Right? You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm listening to that, and it's what was that, Dora?
No one like art.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like this, right? You get to hear all these different things from all these different speakers, but where do they come from? They all come from art. And guess what? His topic was recruiting, right? And I want you to write this one thing down. He said this. And you guys, a lot of you have already heard it, and you probably know it. But we get paid to do one thing and one thing only. And what is that?
Recruit.
Wrong. But I like the I like how convicted, how I like the energy, the way you answered. But no, it's to prospect. We get paid to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to prospect. Now, does that just mean cold face-to-face prospecting? No. All right. Now, should we do that? Hey, again, look. Hey, some people, right? They're like, yeah, I like to. I think nobody's in a position that we should just focus on one thing. At least, and I'm talking in the base shop here, right? We got a lot of work to do. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So we got to go hit every single avenue that's available to us. So guess what? What if you're at the store and you see somebody that they just capture you, right? What if that's your Carlos Gonzalez that you're passing up? Right. Again, hey, I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to miss out on anybody. So guess what? Referrals, top 100 list. Again, face-to-face prospecting, we have to do it all. Would you guys agree with it?
Yes.
Okay? So, hey, look. So we have GroupMe, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, now, I know, like, for example, John's dad out in Minnesota, man, he's doing amazing,
Rocking
man.
it.
Hey, so if your dad's watching, Ron, hey, man, hey, we're giving it up. Now, we need some of that here. So what I want us to do so that coach can see, hey, that we're out here working. Over the weekend. So I'm going to challenge you guys, and I'm challenging myself as well. Let's post some things on GroupMe. When we meet somebody, when we pick up a name and number, right? I mean, our job, Mary, okay, has Mary been talking about the products at all?
No.
So do you notice like a shift in what Mary's been talking to us about?
Yes.
Right? What's the focus been?
Recruiting
people, build that side of it.
Yes.
Okay? So that being said, how about we let them hear that we're hearing their message.
Right.
So over the weekend, right, if you prospect somebody, if you do a recruiting interview, something, let's get it on GroupMe. Every single one of us in here, man. Let's blow that up because Mary posted something today and it really ties into what we're working on doing. What did Alex Rivas, the little saying, Gloria, I can tell by your face you saw it.
Attendance.
When focused on building out-night attendance, right? What's important? Attitude
and mindset.
Are you asking or are you all saying?
Mindset,
right? Attitude and mindset, right? And so we have to go in, right, with the attitude that it's already going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
All right? That we're going to bless some people. Okay? I know when Lupe was here. You guys remember when Lupe was here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, it's like he shared something with me that hit me like a ton of bricks that I thought I was doing, but I wasn't really doing. Sometimes you just go through the motions. But when you make a phone call, how do you feel about that phone call? Right now, here's the thing. He was saying, right, and my guy, I know Crisanta, I think that was it, and that we're in there with Mary and them. Do you feel like you're going to bless these people when you're about to make this call? Or is it no one's going to answer. No one's answering right now. Nobody ever answers my call. Because again, right, we get beat down. Right? We're talking a little bit about that just right now, right? Because also, what happens when somebody doesn't answer your call? Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
They didn't answer because of me.
Right.
Well, Leslie and I were talking about this one example that this person, right, was reached out to, and they didn't answer. And this other person was like, man, they probably don't want to do business with me. But guess what? It had nothing. She just got busy. 3 days later, faxed over, gave copies of the policy. Say it had nothing to do with the individual making the phone call. That the prospect was just busy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, man, we've got to go in again with how do we approach the phone calls? Come on in, ladies. Come on in. We're just having a big old, party here. We're waiting on Coach here, but he's getting some stuff done. So, how do we approach those phone calls? How do we approach the prospects? You
Excited.
see, well, again, that's exactly how we should, but do we?
No.
Right? I mean, again, we're all different, right? So we have to be in the right mindset. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got to go hit it hard, man. With the energy that you come into Op Night, or again, how we should come into Op Night. That's the same energy that we should have out there. In fact, even more so because this is our environment. But out there,
Right.
hey, might get a little bit, you're gonna get some arrows your way. But out there, man, we got to be up here. We have to be performing. I'm going back to Steve Siebold for those of you on the team meeting, right? I never remembered this thing. But anyway, we have to be performing, right? Our mind has to be performing at a higher level. Okay, would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And so, that being said, I want to ask also, has anybody in here gotten some results lately? No.
Some numbers.
Okay. Anybody picked up? Well, I don't know if you want. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But if you've picked up policies, if you've gotten a life close, some investments, anything. Has anybody done anything this week?
It's gonna happen tomorrow. Like I'm picking up two.
Well, come on up here, Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Give it up for Stephanie, guys.
So I was telling you that I sat for an hour and talked to my cousin, found out he was laid off. So turns out we have a rollover about $12,000 tomorrow. He only saved for 1 year because he's like, I was dumb, cousin, sorry, didn't listen to you. So he's like, but I'm ready now to save. So he's gonna get life insurance on his son, and he wants him and his wife to get life insurance. So I'll do that tomorrow. But that was just from just a few minutes of calling and just really just picking up the phone and touching base, following up. And then from there, we'll just get tons of referrals. And I have 2 confirmed people that I spoke to this week for the Op Night, but that's not enough because we have to put more people in the chair. So
Yeah.
that was just a little bit of activity, but it's enough to just keep me going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Awesome.
thank
All
you.
right. But thank you so much, Stephanie. But here's the thing about part-time activity. Hey, right now, if you're part-time, we're not expecting anybody to go from 0 to 60, like in a second. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit. Mary always used to tell us this, that you just need small victories to kind of keep you going from day to day, week to week. Every single day, if you can do a little something, guys, I'm telling you, that's going to have such a profound effect on your business. It's going to keep you going. And then what happens when it just hits? You recruit that one, what's the saying? You're what?
One
recruit
recruit
away from an explosion, right? And so even as part-timers, because again, most of you guys in here are part-time, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And so, again, it's just doing a little bit of something. Like, again, what is Primerica? It's a lot of people doing a little, and a little doing a lot. Again, but you got to start somewhere, man. So we have to, on a daily basis, make sure that you knock out the little things, making phone calls. Again, right? Prospecting. And again, however you're going to prospect, hey, whatever way, if that works for you, getting referrals, all of the above, man, okay? In fact, you know what? Is Lucio out there?
He's here.
Where is he? Hold on. Hold that.
Lucia!
He disappeared on us. Gloria, what'd you do to him? In fact, I was going to ask him, right? Because one thing about Lucio, man, he's great at getting referrals. And I wanted him to kind of, share, like I said, because, we thought Coach was going to be up here, man. So we're just kind of, going off the top of our head here, man. But let me think here. What else is going on? Oh, yes, Dora.
I have two.
Come on up here. Guys, give it up for Dora, man. Miss, $6,000-$7,000 check, lady?
I had 2 college funds, and the reason that they did come in was because the lady was going to be wanting to open the college fund, so she actually went to Farmers, and they quoted her something, which was really, she was going to be paying $110 into a life insurance for each child.
Wow.
With us, she opened it for $50 a child. So, I mean, and we know that, hey, she doesn't have the money, and these babies right now, they don't need life insurance for $111 a person. So that was, it blew my mind too. Yeah, I go, why? So she can actually, she wants to put in more money as time goes on, but right now she opened it with $50. And it made me feel good that we were able to do that for her and get her away from Farmers. I mean, that's sad. So guys, yeah, we gotta kick them just like Art did in the old days.
Knock them out.
Kick them with the butt and kick them out of the field, period. So anyway.
Awesome. Yeah, man, absolutely. You know, the stuff that's going on out there, it's absolute crap. You know, and but do we have the license to go help that?
Yeah.
Now, I get many times though, you see what that agent did? Guess what? They don't have an investment license. So what are they doing? They're just selling life insurance. Okay? And they're all different. I know, for example, out in San Marcos, you know, I know with Tomas and their family, these guys, they go out there door to door, man. These American agents. You know where I'm going with that? And this 20, I guess at the time they were in their 20s, Joe and Julie. And somebody came and knocked on their door and sold them a fixed annuity. Right? They $20-some thousand in that thing, man. 20-some-year-olds. What are they doing in the fixed indexed annuity? Now, what's the age that Primerica is like capped where they can't go? I guess being below this age.
50, isn't it?
45. 45, guys. Primerica is always doing the right thing for us. They're always looking out for us, man. That's the greatest thing about one of the greatest things about this company is that we've got their backing, man. You know, they're always looking out for us. They're always making sure that we're going to do the right thing for our clients. We don't have to worry about that stuff. You see, because they've got it, man. And I know, do you mind if I share one example on yours? On this, like for example, Leslie has this policy. Okay, check this out, guys. So, I guess it's a 20-year term, and the rate started off right at $505. Well, actually, the other one started off at $17. It's a 5-year with a 5-year guarantee. So at the 10-year, it's going to shoot up. What's it going to shoot up to? Oh, do you put them away?
Yeah.
It's like, check this out, guys.
So it's a 5-year renewable term?
Not necessarily, because after a 5-year renewable usually does in 5-year increments.
Yeah.
So this is 5-year, but then it starts shooting up every single year.
Oh wow! So 5-year then turns into annual.
Basically. Annual renewable. Sorry, Leslie, not to put you on the spot. Yeah. Let's see this.
It's not another policy.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, so. Year number 11, because again, 5-year with a 5-year guarantee, so 10 years. 14 from 306, it's going to shoot up to 1456. Wow. So what's that like $1,200? That's $100 a month.
Cow.
By the following 5 years, it'll be up to $2,137. But with every year it going up. Yeah, what's this? This one is a Farmers.
Oh yeah.
What's their saying?
We are good hands.
We are crap. That's what it should be. But anyway, so there's this one. May I?
Good hands.
Now, this one is Transamerica. What do we know about Transamerica?
Garbage.
What? But specifically, just like I asked Leslie. They got sued for not paying.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So check this out. 20-year, $505 annual. 21st year shoots up to $6,905.
Holy cow! No.
$6,905 from $505. That's Transamerica. We're not even going to go over the other one because we don't have time. My point is, oh, by the way, if this is the person right where They thought, oh, because they got busy, right? They don't want to do business, right? And it's not Leslie, though. It's somebody. But you guys get what I'm saying? Is that we have to take it off of us. You get what I'm saying? In other words, like, people, they get busy, man. But when we have so much activity, hey, you're not dependent on that one. Because when you get the no from that one, that's when it really hurts, right? But if you're working with a number of different people, then guess what? Are we going to get no's? We are going to get some no's, right? But just like, one of the things that we need to take from Coach, man, Coach is like a cornerback in football. It's like, okay, so there's a saying about cornerbacks in football, is that you should have a short memory. What do they mean by that? See, cornerbacks are the little guys, right, that cover the receivers.
They're the smallest. Yeah.
And what happens? Sometimes they're going to get beat, and they're going to get a touchdown scored on them. Well, they're trained to have a short memory. In other words, they can't dwell on it. Because if they dwell on it, right? But see, one of the things about Coach, man, that I've always been so amazed is that he doesn't hear the no's. He's trained his brain. So have you ever heard him come up here and he'll say like, oh, I never get that objection. Oh, I never get that. I never get it. It's because he doesn't hear it. He's trained himself that it doesn't. And again, not that it doesn't. I'm sure it bothers him, right? But it's like, I mean, he's just trained himself, and that's where mental toughness, right? That's why I know I've been preaching to my team a lot. Hey, we got to read. Richard, I know you've been very big on that book, Slide Edge.
Yeah.
Right. That's and I've told myself I need to go get that book, but have I done it? No, right? Because I'd let everything else get in the way. So that's one of the things, I know Coach has been, doing a lot of traveling and stuff like that, but he used to get up here, man, and for like whole trainings, just go over all different books. Yep. Now, we're not always going to have that. So guess what? It's up to who? You. It's up to us, each and every one of us, right? Hey, we have to go invest in ourselves, right? We have to go buy some books, We have to go, to seminars and Tom Hopkins and all this kind of stuff, right? Because are we business owners?
Yes.
We sure are, man. So we have to take it upon ourselves, man. Okay. Anybody see Lucio? Yeah. He disappeared completely, man. Okay. So, you know what? Let me ask Betty something real quick. All right. Yeah.
Either buy a download books all the time. You can get that one for free, a free PDF anyways. Yep, Napoleon Hill. Anything by that dude, read it. Like the art of Think and Grow Rich.
Teammates, take a 5-minute break.
So your dad actually just saw GroupMe. He did pretty good.
Yeah.
John's dad, Ron, in Minnesota, met with a client who, in the Bible it says a self-righteous. I think it's self-righteous, right?
Not self-righteous. A righteous person.
Yeah, a righteous person makes sure that they leave enough money for their kids' kids. I've heard that. I mean, all my growing up, right? In other words, we should work really hard, and because I meet some people who are very selfish. That like, not to be rude, but they'll say, "I don't care what happens to my kids. They can go work for a living." I don't like Bill Gates, for example. He says that when he dies, he's gonna give away all his money so his kids have to work. Well, you may think he's a hero. He's not my hero. I believe the way I've been taught is you work hard and leave your kids something. Yeah. Like I'll give an example. So I'm building 2 houses in Pharr, which is right next to McAllen, and I know it's pretty far. It's about 5 hours far.
That's kind of far.
It is. You ever heard of Far, Texas?
Yeah.
It's next to somewhere, Texas. Okay, anyway.
Somewhere.
Anyway, so I'm building 2 houses there. I was talking to my builder, and he asked me if I'm gonna sell them. I said, no, I'm not gonna sell them. I'm gonna build them. I don't need the rent money. I'm building them so when I pass away, I leave my kids. My goal is to leave them 20 properties. You know, that they have money coming in. Of course, my Primerica business, my stocks, my bond, everything I got. But that's just me. It's something that I want to do for my kids because I can, right? I mean, if you don't have goals, why get up in the morning, right? So, but that's just me. So I'm so glad this lady, she only had a burial policy, and after his dad talked to them, she got a $250,000 life insurance policy, which I think that's awesome, right? So anyway, and also I met you before, right? I'm so sorry. What's your first? I know it's a hard name for me. Ajane. Well, dude, you know I don't know how to even spell it. AJ, right?
AZANE, accent on my E.
Awesome. Okay, I just met her like the day before I left to Cabo is when I met you actually.
Yeah, you had to go home and pack. So.
Listen, let me tell you something. Adrian just came on board, and like I told Adrian, when I recruit someone, I work with them. And the day before I left to Cabo, Ron had an appointment with Leo and his girlfriend, right? Girlfriend, and so I was here. I think it was at 5 o'clock or something like that. I didn't think we finished till about 7. I went home. Luckily, I already had packed most of my stuff. But I worked. And then when I was in Cabo, y'all didn't know this. So I got there on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're watching the World Series at the resort, me and my brothers and stuff. And I get an email from John's dad, Ron, who picked up, I think, 7 life insurance policies from this pastor and his wife. And he was going to go close them on Saturday. So he wanted me to go over all these policies. So after the game was done, you know, luckily they were 2 hours behind at the time Cabo is from here. And I'm looking at all these policies. My brothers are going to bed. What are you doing, bro? I said, I'm looking at some policies for one of my guys. And I went over all 90 pages of it. I took a screenshot from my phone. I circled what to focus on, and I put some little notes, whatever. I mean, that's what I do. I got in Tuesday night late. I had an appointment at 4 o'clock with John earlier right now. So then I had my own personal appointment with Adrian. So listen, man, I work just like any of you guys. I never want you to, I would never ask you to do something I would not be willing to do. Does that make sense? What I'm going to cover real quick, hey, welcome back. Is this your first chance back at the office from your 2 months? Oh, you've been coming to the office while I've been gone? All right, I haven't seen you like I think last time I saw you were like, what, 31 years old or something like that? No, I know your job took you to Australia, right, for a month?
That's awesome.
That is crazy, crazy good, right? I'm sure your wife didn't like it too much, but hey,
like it. She was
well, I don't know. Maybe. Well, let me think back. Wives, if you have a month break from your husband, that'd be a good thing for a little bit, huh?
That's what I thought.
My wife would kill
like,
me.
I really missed you. Oh,
My wife would kill me.
You're coming back, so you know.
Came back to a honey-do list.
I know that is true. That is true. Hey, listen, we're gonna cover right now. I'm gonna go over. Listen, op night. Oh, by the way, Adrian, I forgot to mention this to you. Tuesday night coming up. It's in a couple of days. We have a money-making seminar here in my office. It's at 7:30. It's at 7:30, right?
Yes. Right.
Yeah, like normal, right? So I just want to make sure. Put it on your calendar because you get off of work at what, 5 or 6?
Yeah, around 6.
Yeah, so put it on your calendar if you don't mind. It's gonna be awesome. I'll reserve a seat for you and stuff. The couple we just met with John, AJ, and Jessica, they also said they'd be coming
they'll
too.
be here.
We're gonna have an incredible money-making seminar. So put on your calendars, guys. 7:30 on Tuesday night. You already know about it, Leo? Ajale, you also know about it now, right?
Ajane.
Ajani.
Nay,
I'm
Ajane.
not gonna say- I'm just gonna
Ajane.
say- Okay, I'll just look at you and you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't like to mess up people's names, man. Mine's pretty simple. I mean, it's Carlos. I mean, people call me Carlos, but that's about the only thing you can do.
Carlos.
about that.
That's all I
But
can do.
my last name, because
can't
I'm
roll my
Hispanic,
R's.
I've been called Martinez. Do I look like a Martinez dude? I'm a Gonzalez, man. Anyway. So listen, this is what I'm going to talk to you guys about. 2 things. One is the presentation. So let's talk about the presentation. Okay, in fact, let me use this here. Okay, so 2 things in our business that you got to be great at, right? One is presenting, right? And what I mean by presenting, it's KISS, right?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it. There's a 9. Keep it
Keep it simple. Stupid.
short and simple.
Everyone else.
That's our job in a presentation. Let me tell you why I'm sharing that with you. When I was a greenie, and just so y'all know what greenie means, it means you're new. When I was new in the business, I came from a pharmacy background, intellectual. I I mean, to us, a good night is balancing a chemical equation. Does that make sense? So we like complex problems and finding solutions for them. And so I used to present people with facts. Did you know? I mean, this is the way I used to do appointment. So Myra, did you know that the average person that passes away, they leave behind like $10,000? Is that gonna vary so much? That's not very emotional? Would you agree? No. So when I was new, and I used to talk to people about facts, but don't get me wrong, facts are important. But write this down: stories sell. Okay, stories sell. What does that mean? Analogies. Give people analogies when you're talking to them. That's what they'll respond to. Analogies. I'll give an example. What I mean by analogy. Leo. Let me ask you this: if I could show you what the hardest part of our business is and show you how to overcome it, would that be a good thing or bad thing for you?
That'd be a good thing.
Okay, so this is how I explain it to Leo. The hardest part of our business is this. There was a 10-year-old kid who came home one day all beat up. Dad says, son, why are you all beat up? The little boy says, well, Dad, I was trying to help the little lady cross the street. And Dad says, well, then why are you beat up? And the little 10-year-old boy says, she didn't want to come. He was trying to help this lady, and she beat him up for it. That's our business. We sit down with people. Our job is to help them find solutions for retirement, life insurance, and everything in between. And sometimes we come out beat up a little bit, mentally. Y'all follow me? Yes. That's the hardest part of our business. Can you take that? You're a Christian, right? You went to that men's retreat a couple of weeks ago. Yes, sir. Listen, when you love the Lord, doesn't mean everyone's going to love him with you. Y'all know that. I mean, that's just the way it is. There's people out there that are atheists. There's people out there that have become like this one. I was talking to someone about this. There's a lot of I'm a Christian, but I'm not a practicing Christian. In other words, you don't want to go to mass. Okay, I understand. I'm not either you're a Christian or you're not. God doesn't. I mean, He would like it at His house, okay. But if you don't go, it's not like you're disqualified, right? You know what I mean, right? I'm not gonna go deep into that, right? But what I'm saying is, you're gonna find people. I don't know how I got to that topic. Oh, getting beat up. Yeah. I was telling my sister. I better not tell you that the story of my sister. I better not. I don't want to open a can of worms. But you're gonna have people that don't agree with you on certain subjects. Right. Like I said, when I pass away, I want to leave my kids a big inheritance. That's just me. You're gonna come across people who will tell you they could care less. They care about themselves, and that's fine. It doesn't make them bad people. Everyone's got a right to their own different viewpoint. I hate to use the word opinion, because opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one. They all stink. Y'all know that, right? Yeah. So, viewpoint. Everyone's got a different viewpoint, right? Now, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in God?
Oh yes.
Like out of 0 to 100, at what level?
100%.
Like 1,000, million%, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if you talk to someone about the Lord and they don't believe in God, is that gonna make you quit?
Nah.
Are you gonna say, you know what? Okay, real quick. Ajane.
Ajane.
I'm gonna get it. I promise. I'm still in vacation mode. Okay, I'm still on island mode here. It's not an island, it's a peninsula, right? So let me ask you a question.
Get specific.
If you talk to her about being a Christian and she says, I don't believe in God, are you gonna say, you know what? I think she's a very smart person. I guess I don't need to believe in God. Are you gonna be that way? Or are you gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna pray for you, right?
Yeah.
I was checking something out and I saw a comment. It was about prayer and it said, I believe in taking action, not praying. I believe you should pray and do action at the same time. I don't know.
Faith without works is dead.
Absolutely. I like that one. I've heard it before. I just never used it in that context.
It's in Acts.
The best example I can give you on that, there was these two men. They went out fishing in the middle of the lake.
I think.
All of a sudden, this storm appeared. And one of them says, hey, let's pray. The other guy said, I got a better idea. Why don't we pray and row at the same time? Makes sense, right? So my point is, this lady said, I believe in taking action. Well, I put on there in the comment, I believe you can do both. What's wrong with you? You can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Something's wrong with you, right? I mean, is that not true, right? Yeah. So when we present to people, folks, listen, like I was talking to Adrian about this. Folks, listen. Let me ask you this. Out of 10 people you talk to, Mayra, how many of them do you believe have their ducks in a row when it comes to money? Out of 10?
Probably maybe 1.
Right. That means that. What do you think?
1.
What do you think?
1.
What do y'all think?
About 1 to 2, yeah.
And we're being generous, I think, with a 1.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, it's just tough, right? So this is my point. Now, the lady we talked to earlier, you and I, John, you and I went to go see AJ and Jessica. So, they don't have anything going on financially the right way yet. They're young, they're a young couple. But I've met 40, 50-year-olds that don't have anything going on financially as well. My point is, it's not because they're bad people. They have not been taught how to do it right. Does that make sense? Folks, listen, people make the wrong mistakes because they don't, it's called ignorance. I mean, a lot of people go, oh, you're calling them stupid. No. Ignorance means making a mistake, not knowing the right facts. Stupidity, on the other hand, is knowing the facts and still making the wrong choice. We're not calling people stupid. We're talking ignorance, uneducated, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. Misinformed, right?
Yeah.
We're talking to people that don't know what they're doing, and like I was telling Adrian, our market is middle income, the everyday working family, attorneys, pharmacists, teachers, you name it, right? So we got to keep it short and simple. When I first started, I was new. I used to do 2-hour appointments. You believe that? I said I was someone, Adrian, and I would wear their butt out. I would talk real intellectual. The Rule 73. It's a Rule 72, by the way, okay? The Rule 72, how it states. And I mean, what the heck? And I was wondering why I couldn't close. Now, one thing about me, I never blamed the business when things didn't go right. You know what I would do? I would look in the mirror. Okay, what if other people, this is my philosophy. If other people are winning in this business and I'm not, it's not the business, it's me, obviously. Does that make sense? So right now in your business, if you're not going the way you should be going, you got to start making some adjustments. You cannot control the wind, but we can adjust our sails. Is that correct? Yes. So if things aren't going the right way for you in business right now, I don't care what business you're in, it's time for us individually to make some changes. Yes or no? Yes. So let's talk about keeping it short and simple. So our presentation is the 3 C's. Company, concept,
compensation,
or concepts, right? And compensation. Again, short and simple. So let me ask you, Maida, when it comes to the company, give me one thing you would cover when it comes to talking to a client about our business. Just mention it. There's no wrong answer.
We're on the New York Stock
Okay, that's probably the best one. You read my mind. That's scary. Okay, so one fact: we're in the New York Stock Exchange. Now, let me ask you this. Let's see. John, why is that important, the New York Stock Exchange? Why is that important?
Because we're a reputable company and everything on the stock exchange is highly regulated.
Okay, it's reputable. Folks, you cannot be in the New York Stock Exchange unless you're a reputable company. Y'all know that, right? How can I prove that? Because it's monitored by the SEC. So if you're taking notes, write that down. The Securities and Exchange Commission is probably the harshest agency we have in our government. Because they got to deal with people's money called stocks, right? Again, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, they're very highly regulative. So for our company to make to be investigated by the SEC, to be able to be in the New York Stock, that's a big deal. You guys,
we've been on it for many years, or 7 years. So it's not a 1 year company.
Right. Not only that, Adrian, your aunt owns a restaurant in Los Fresnos. What's the name of the restaurant?
Julia's.
I'm sorry?
Julia's.
Okay. Now, how long has it been around? Have you heard of it? It's in Los Fresnos. Really? You've been in Los Fresnos? That's a... No, because, I only went to play a football game. We won that game. But he said they took revenge a few years later when he was in high school, but I was already out of high school, so hey. But anyway, we went downhill after I left. I'm joking. Anyway, Adrian, so it's a pretty good restaurant. How long has it been around?
Probably going 25 years now.
Okay, so pretty successful. Listen, in case y'all didn't know this, and one thing about Adrian, we talked a little bit on Wednesday. He's I don't know if you already finished reading the book or you still reading it.
Which one?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so if you're taking notes, if you haven't read that book, it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Dr. Robert Kiyosaki, an incredible book.
I'll give you a copy if you don't.
And like I told him, an even better book is called the Cash Flow Quadrant, because now he breaks down mentally every quadrant from being an employee to self-employed to a business owner and an investor, right? But my point is this. So here's what he says in the book. 90% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. So write that down, okay? 90%, actually I think it's 95%. 95% of small businesses fail win the first 5 years. I own. I'm part owner of a restaurant downtown called the Russian House. We just had our 5-year anniversary about a week ago, so we passed that first test because 95% do not make it after the first 5 years. It's hard.
Yeah.
Why is it hard? Capital, investments, accounting, marketing. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. Even if you're a good person, like let's say you're a mechanic, even if you're a great mechanic, you understand. If you read the book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber,
Yep.
again, E-Myth, E stands for entrepreneur, right? Entrepreneurial myth. He says on there, you can be a baker, and okay, I'll give you an example. There's a restaurant on South First Street. Before you get to the Whataburger, it's really famous. What's it called? The Mexican one we've gone to, Betty.
Polvos?
Y'all heard of
That's a
Polvos?
really good one.
Right there on First and
Okay,
Slaughter.
I met the owner. It's not this same owner. It was the one before it. It was back, man, like 20 years ago. And I met her, and we started talking. I said, "Man, you must be happy in your own restaurant." She goes, "Not really." I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I quit my job at Jack Brown Cleaners. I took my 401k. I put it into this restaurant. I have to be here at 5 a.m. I leave at 6. My husband relieves me after his job. He comes in at 6. He closes it at about 11. By the time he gets home, it's 1 in the morning. I don't even see him. Then I'm back in the morning, and it's just a grind." She goes, "I took all my money from my 401k to have this thing." And my point is, they didn't make it. They sold it to whoever owns it now. But my point is, 95% of people who go into business don't make it the first 5 years, folks. And then, and this is what Bob Kiyosaki says and Michael Gerber says, and then you survive. Those 5% survive after those 5 years. 95% of them don't make it the next 5 years. So it's hard to be successful in business. So for us to be in the New York Stock Exchange, well, that's a big deal. Number one, it's reputable. Number one. Number two, it's highly regulated. Okay. So what's my point on that? If somebody tells me if Primerica doesn't work, I could care less. I don't go by people's opinions. Y'all understand? Listen, when I joined the business, just to let y'all know, so I already told some of y'all already know this. My brother, who's a doctor, we just were together for a week. When I joined the business, I called him up. I was 25 years old. I said, "Carnal, guess what?" Because everyone in my family thinks a doctor knows everything. I mean, he's just more than, there's no way. Farmers know more than doctors, whatever. Trust me on that, right? But everyone, my family thinks he's like a very sharp guy. I just found out he was an A student. I was an A student in college in pharmacy, so I beat him anyway. But my point is, I called him up and I said, "Carnal, I just joined Primerica, and am I that good? You're falling over the place?"
Yes,
Man.
no, it's real.
I'm really good. She just almost fainted, man. Wait till I get to the good stuff. I'm kidding. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, Adrian. Oh, you're blaming Adrian?
Nah.
Adrian, that's my office manager right there. No. Trust me, you're gonna talk to her a lot more. You probably talk to me because she's gonna help you with a lot of stuff. Don't mind that she almost fell. She's real good. Last time she fell for her husband. Where's her husband? He's in the office.
Yes, in the office.
Yeah. Then how long have you been married now? 15 years.
19.
That's right. So last time you fell, you got married. So you know. So she doesn't fall very often, right? Now the second time is because of my speech, Betty, that you fell.
Yes.
Right? Anyway, I call my brother for. Listen, let me just share this with you. The reason why most people quit something is we seek validation from others. So write that on your paper. We seek validation. So the right kind of people could care less about validation from others. I don't need people's permission. What's that thing? Let me see if I can remember here real quick.
Approval addiction.
Yes. Adrian, do you know what the number one addiction is? In fact, let me give it a description. 99.7% of people in America have this addiction. You know what it is? It's called, write this down, approval addiction. Approval addiction. Again, 99.7%. That's almost 100%, right?
Yes.
Have this addiction called approval addiction. Folks, we seek the validation or approval from other people. You cannot be that way to be successful. You can't.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. It's okay to get other people's opinions or feedback, but it should not be the reason why you do something or not. You guys follow me, right? So I joined the business. I called my brother Robert. Hey, guess what? I just joined Primerica. This is what he tells me. This is his motivational speech to me, Leo. Carnal, you'll never make it there because you're an introvert and you've never been in sales. Talk about being floored. I'm like, what? This is before we had cell phones. I mean, I remember the corded phone, man. It's like a long cord. And I'm thinking, why did I call this guy again? If I want to get slapped, I could just slap myself. I don't need to be calling somebody, my brother especially, man. So I said, you know what, carnal? This is before I could learn how to stick up for myself, right? I mean, seriously, right? Back, I just say, hey, bro, okay, man, I understand. I gotta go, bro. Take care. I'll show you, man. Bye. That's it. That was being nice, right? And today, you fast forward 27 years later, I make about 4.5 times more than he does as a doctor.
Come
right?
on.
He makes about 180. I make about 820, right? So I make 4 times more than he makes, a little over. He's 68. He still has to see his patients. He cannot take time off. He has no life. I love him. Don't get me wrong. He built himself a prison. I built myself a business, a playground.
Yes.
So you got to figure out, do you want to build would you rather build yourself a playground or a prison? Most folks that own a business, they really don't own a business. The business owns them.
Right.
They're gonna always be there, right? If you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's what he talks about. Self-employed people, they build themselves a business where they always have to be there. That's not really a life, right? I mean, at some point you like to have a life, right?
Yes.
All right. So, good job. Okay. So yeah, I cover that. Now, that couple we just talked to earlier, they've never heard of the New York Stock Exchange. They had no idea what it was. So now, let's see if we can figure out. So if somebody says this, Javier, actually you probably know this. Let's go with Crisanta. If somebody says they've never heard of the New York Stock Exchange, what would you say? How would you describe the New York Stock Exchange?
It's stocks.
Okay.
What's a stock?
Right. That's what she said.
Money, there's money in there.
Okay. Okay, is that any more? I mean, there's no wrong answer. I'm just, so don't feel like, people are looking at you.
It's just yeah, it's just stocks, money.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. That's good. Leslie? How would you describe to someone who's never heard the word stocks, would you explain it?
Big companies are on there like Walmart,
Okay, those are good analogies.
McDonald's and all them, so people invest their money in them so they can be out there and I guess grow their business.
Correct. Okay. Sandy?
It's highly regulated company where they sell and buy stocks on the exchange, and you see it on TV where they have it's up or down.
That's cute. Man, you're good. You're on a roll, man. You're good. I like the TV part.
But don't ever believe what you hear on TV.
Right. Okay. Adrian, you want to get a shot? A stock?
Yeah, it's just partial ownership of any company that's
Okay, that's good too.
the market.
Stephanie?
The New York Stock Exchange has about 2,800 companies. They exchange about $1.2 billion worth of stock each day. So being
that's
part of
pretty good.
that,
I'll say 1.3.5, but hey.
it's
No, I'm joking, right?
1.46
Okay.
billion. So being a part of the New York Stock Exchange is a really big deal. I mean, only 2,800 companies out of the entire United States, and we're one of them.
And that's actually a pretty big
We're
deal.
ranked in the
I
top
like that.
10 of the Forbes list of the most trustworthy companies in the United States.
Okay, I like that. Okay, let's do this. All right, so how do you explain the stock? Okay. Actually, let me ask you this. Otis, how many companies do you believe, just guess, would exist in America? From I'm sorry, was it Lupita's? I'm so sorry. Julia's restaurant to Valdez. If you go to Valdez, there's Valdez. To you name it, Arandas, you name Arandina's.
Right.
How many companies do you believe exist in America? From small to big, doesn't matter. Millions. I would say, I'm just gonna guess, 20 million. I could be wrong, but it's a lot. So that's what I would explain to someone. I would ask him. By the way, I've said this before. I want to make sure y'all get this. It's all about technique, right? It's all about communication. What made Jesus so powerful, he could communicate a message. It doesn't matter how smart you are, if you cannot communicate a message, you're going to lose, right?
Parables.
It's all about making, absolutely, a lot of parable stories where people can figure things out, right? So write this down if you're taking notes. If you say it, they doubt it. If they say it, it's true. Again, if you say it, they doubt it. if they say it, it's true?
27.9 million companies.
For real? That was pretty close. Thank you. When I didn't say 20,000.
Nice.
I'm kidding. What's that?
I was just asking about what is that?
Yeah, companies. in the United States,
20.7 million companies in America.
according to the U.S. Census. Yeah.
That's pretty. Man, was I good or what?
I was way
Still
off.
got it after a vacation. All right. So millions. Now we know it's 20.7. Now give or take a couple million here and there. I mean, maybe they never heard of your aunt's restaurant. You know what I'm saying, right? But that's pretty close. So this is what I ask again. If you say it, they doubt it. If they say it, it's true. So this is what I would. If I were to say, for example, Adrian, our company is one of the top rated companies in America. Listen, every sales company is going to say great things about their own company. Y'all believe that?
Yeah.
They are. So instead of saying something good about you, then what I recommend is asking a question. This is what I mean. Listen, Leo. There's about 20.7 million companies in America. And on the New York Stock Exchange, there's only about 2,800. Is that correct, Stephanie? So that what percentage is that? About 1%? Or is that 0.01%? 0.01?
Yeah, it's like 0.01%.
That's even crazier. So Leo, 0.01% of all the companies in America, 20.7 million, are eligible to make the New York Stock. Is that a pretty big deal?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a big deal?
Yes.
You see what I'm doing? If I say it, they doubt it, but if they say it's true, how do I make them say it? By asking them to answer me a question back. Does that make sense, right? So, I like that. Some fun facts. There's 2,800 companies in the New York Stock Exchange. That's pretty awesome. So to make that group, folks, understand that you already agreed there's 20.7 million companies in America. So 0.01% are only 0.01% are eligible to make the New York. That's a big deal. Now let me make sure y'all understand this. Okay.
2000. Yeah.
You know, Adrian just came on board. You know, and he's working on getting his car going, buying a new car. Actually, I understand. You're what, 23? He just got out of college in May from UT. I remember when I was out of college, I was broke. Right, I mean, most people are out of college.
Out of college or broke, yeah.
Right. So my point is, think about this. In fact, let me ask you, Adrian. Let me ask you, how much do you think it would cost to start your own business in America? More or less. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just what do you think?
I mean, depending on the size of the business, sort of like a couple $100,000.
Easily, couple $100,000. Javier, what do you think?
Couple $100,000.
Couple $100,000. Anybody else?
It just depends on what kind, but yeah, if it's a restaurant, anywhere. My brother's business is about 500,000.
Wow. Okay, so it's not. Okay, bless you, Richard. So would you agree then it's more than $99?
Yes.
Let me explain to you why.
Your LLC is going to be more than that.
We didn't cover a lot of ground right now because of time and stuff like that. But I want to make sure y'all know this, folks. In Primerica, it's called an IBA, Independent Business Application. You're in business for yourself. That's a big deal. You're a business owner now. Now, this is a problem in Primerica. They say company's greatest asset can also be its greatest liability. What do I mean? Okay, I'll give you an example. The best part of our company is people, and the worst part of our company is people. You got to deal with people, right? When you find the right person, it's unbelievable. When you find the wrong person, it's unbelievable, right? Like incredible. So let me put it this way: the greatest asset of our company is for only $99. You can start your own business in Primerica in financial services. Our biggest liability is for only $99. You can start your own business in Primerica, so people quit when it comes time for rubber to meet the road. Times are tough. It's only $99. So I'm gonna lose anyway, so I'll just quit. But if you had invested $300,000, if you invested $200,000 and tough times hit, you would do everything you could to survive.
Yep.
Right.
Is that not true?
Yes.
You wouldn't quit. If you invested $200,000, $100,000, heck, $30,000, heck, some of you guys are cheap like me. If you invested $5,000, shoot, you ain't gonna lose $5,000.
Right?
You right or wrong?
Right.
Like Adrian, you said you put in about $3,000 to $4,000 in your car. You find Now, you finally realize it's really, you should have just bought a new car, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't know that till the end because we have this emotional attachment to something. It could be emotionally because of our money that we put into a car. My point is, just because it's only $99 doesn't lessen the fact you're a business owner here.
Right.
You are a business owner in Primerica. Do you understand that? My business has given me about $18 million the last 27 years. What is that? It comes out to about $650,000 per year. Since I've been in Primerica, I've been paid about whatever it comes out. I don't know, 580 grand, whatever it is. That means it's since my first year, I've been paid almost 600 grand every year since I joined the business. Now, if I knew that fact, if I had a crystal ball when I joined the business, and somebody had told me, man, in 27 years, your average income will be $600,000 a year, would I hesitate to come up with a $900?
No.
Heck no. I would. In fact, for 100 grand, I do. For $1 million, I would do that. To get back 18 million? Are you kidding me? It's a great return on my investment. But this is the thing. I didn't know that 27. I just was looking for a chance to have a chance. You know, Hugo, one of my RVPs, just went over 200 grand 2 or 3 days ago, whatever it was. He's so ecstatic. It's like he's made. I had my call today, my RVP call. He was talking like he just went over $2 million a year. He was just so excited. And he brought back memories. He said, man, I used to go to the office and I told Maria, I'm going to quit the business. It's just hard for me. And I go to the office and I see Carlos drive up in his car and he'd come up there and he'd do his meeting with 200 people and it was just incredible. And I wanted to quit, but I saw my coach and he was just beaming from ear to ear. And I thought, man, if he can do it, so can I. And he says, man, I called Maria on the way home. Maria, we'll quit next week. We'll quit next week. And that's what kept him going. So my point is, folks, listen. You're a business owner here. And you're in control of your business. You're the CEO and president of your business here. How does it look? If it's not looking right now, then make some adjustments. Right? I was reading this quote the other day. It said, if the path you're on to success appears rocky and not the right way, don't just change your path to get to success. You don't just cancel the trip. Right? You can't just say, forget it, I'm not gonna. Folks, if you're not where you want to be, I mean, when did you join Primerica, Crescenta? What is it you wanted this thing?
I wanted to be somebody, I wanted to provide for my family.
Okay.
I wanted to do.
Is there anything else you could do that you've seen that you can do that with, honestly speaking?
No, not the kind of money that it's given to me and what I could do for people.
I mean, listen, man, I have a degree in pharmacy. I could make between 180 to about 250,000 a year if I wanted to. I could go buy my own pharmacy right now because I have enough money. But I would never do that because the return on my investment would never be better than I have it here.
Right.
The houses that I'm building from scratch, it's not even that big of a deal. I'm investing about, I think 104,000. I think when they're done, it'll be worth about twice as much. So it's say 210. Yeah, the realtor told me, just sell them. You make 100. My builder says, "Why don't you just sell them, make 110?" Because I don't need 110. I don't need 110,000. I don't need $1 million right now. I'm buying these properties. I don't need the rent money. It's so I'm gonna leave something for my kids besides everything else I got. Just why not? You know what I mean? I'm not doing it for the money. I can put my money in my Primerica stock and make more than these houses, to be honest with you.
Right.
Seriously, right now it's like, what is $99 a share? It's just crazy.
Yeah. 98.
I'm just doing it to have some other investment,
Crazy.
that's all, right? So, let's go to this here. So, MIDA, 20.7 million companies right now, and only 2,800 are in the New York. That means that less than 0.01% of all the companies in America are on this New York stock. Is that a big deal?
Huge.
So, if you're taking notes, write that down. You don't have to say it in every presentation. But Adrian, you came on board just right now. You're new to the business. You understand? If you just apply what I'm sharing with you, and you just start doing you just repeat what I just said, it's gonna make you just like me. Success doesn't care about your gender, your age, your ethnicity, nothing. It only cares about success is success, and success leaves clues. Write that down. Success leaves clues. In fact, let me ask you this. So, Javier, what's one good thing about successful people that you noticed?
They don't quit, they keep going.
They don't quit. So write that down. They don't quit. Right? Don't quit. What else?
The focus.
Laser-like focus, right? Not just focus, but laser-like. They're obsessed with winning. My brothers, when I first started getting going, I didn't have a lot of success yet, but I was laser-like focused. All I talked about is the business and where it was headed, and they didn't like it. And my sister once said, "Carnal," she said, "you're just obsessed." And I said, "Thank you, sis, for giving me that compliment." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Obsessed is a word used by lazy people for those that are dedicated. So thank you so much." It's true though.
I like it.
Obsessed is a word used by lazy people for those that are dedicated. Yes or no? And guess what? My sister never brought it up again.
That's awesome.
And I'm about to do a $650 investment for her, right? So, and she told me this like 25 years ago. Matter of fact, she had a party, some kind of party at her house once, and she told me, "Whatever you do, Carlos, please do not talk to anybody, any of my friends about what you do." She said, guess what I heard? I'm going to
talk to every one of your friends.
I'm going to talk to everybody about what I do.
And get
Listen
off
to me. What do we do we show them how to have more they live or more they die. I don't see anything ethically, morally wrong with any of those choices, yes or no. Right. So why would you be embarrassed about talking about it? That's like being embarrassed about talking about the Lord and everlasting life. I mean, that's crazy. Eternal life. I mean, why would you be embarrassed? If somebody told me don't talk about God to anybody, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to everybody now about God. Right? Because winners, this is our philosophy for winners. When somebody says you can't, now you know what you're going to go do. Yes or no, right?
Yep.
So, okay, so that okay. Now, by the way, let me go back to explain what a stock is. Let me tell you what I would say, because it can be a stumper. I totally get it. This is what I would say, and again, I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm just saying this is what I would say. In fact, that's what I said with her, with Jessica. A stock is invested in companies that you and I use every day. And I didn't say it like this, but I would say, you ever gone to McDonald's? Well, yeah. Well, guess what? Next time you go to McDonald's and you have a mutual fund that has a stock of McDonald's, you're giving some of your money back. Have you ever put gas in your car? Well, yeah. Well, guess what? If one of the mutual funds has Chevron or Shell or Texaco and you gas up there, guess what you're doing? You're giving yourself some money back. Next time you go to Dillard's or you fly Southwest Airlines and that's one of the stocks in your company, every time you spend money at any of these stores, guess what? You're giving yourself some money back. That's pretty cool, is it not? I think it's phenomenal. Yes or no? Okay. But the way I explained to her is this: a stock is a company that's so successful that people want to buy into it. So the company grows, and guess what happens to your money? It grows too. That's what I said. These are companies you and I use every single day. So always keep it simple, right? All right. Anything else on the New York Stock Exchange? By the way, Stephanie, when you were mentioning earlier, I'm gonna be okay. You don't mind if I'm Carlos with you because I'm not Frank. Okay, so it's a little joke I tell people.
I get it.
Y'all can use it. Okay. My kids get tired of me using that. Dad again, Dad. Yeah, all right. That's my job as a father, is to annoy you. Anyway, Stephanie, when you first said 2,800 companies are, I was thinking this is what I was thinking of. Oh my gosh, we're getting a little analytical here. But I heard you out, and I realized after you said your statement, like, wow, that's pretty powerful. Did y'all see that? Mm-hmm. Why is it powerful? Now, I wouldn't say it the way you said it because it sounds a little analytical, but the fact doesn't change. It's still the fact. And because you said that, he Googled how many companies are, because I didn't know. And I'm a neighbor. I'm not going to Google it, right? But he did. I'm glad he did. Now I know 20.7 million companies in America that I know of, right? That we know of, right? That Google's found out about. And only 2,800 companies are. Do you understand how incredible it is? Yes. Folks, that's huge. That's an amazing. I mean, that alone, if anybody gives any crap about our business, dude, are you in the New York Times? No, then why worry about it? Right. Don't listen to negative people, right? Okay, what else would I say about our company besides the New York Times? What else? Anything else? Okay, how about this? Been around 40 years.
40 years, yeah.
I don't know about you, but 40 years is a long time to be in business. Heck, nowadays 5 years is a long time. So 40 years, I think you kind of know what you're doing. So what I would say, Javier, is something like that. Listen, our company's been around for 40 years, Javier. I don't know about you, but I think we kind of know what we're doing. What do you think? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by saying, if you say it, they doubt it. But if they say it, it's true. So I'm making a statement. So let me make sure you know that it's called a tie down. Okay? If you're taking notes, tie down. The definition of a tie down is a question at the end of a statement. Actually, it's at the end, beginning, or middle, but let's just say end. It's a question at the end of a statement that demands a polite yes. That's what a tie down is. I'll give you an example. This is what I used to do, make mistakes when I was new. I sit down with someone, Leslie, and I'd say, Primerica's incredible. New York Stock Exchange, been around 40 years. It's incredible. Very factual, Stephanie. But I wasn't closing business because I was making statements, not asking for agreements. Right? Little yeses, write this down if you're taking out. Little yeses lead to the big yes.
Yep.
Little yeses lead to the big yes, okay? So when I read Tom Hopkins, How to Master the Art of Selling, and he taught me these three things, all right? Number one is tie downs, alternate choice, and porcupines, right? So what do I mean? A tie down. I still make the same facts, but this is how I would word it, Leo. I would say, listen, I've been around for 40 years. That's a long time, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I got a yes. I made the statement, but I demanded a polite yes, because 40 years is a long time, right? I don't know about you, Leo, but in America, there's about 20.7 million companies, and only 2,800 are in the New York Stock Exchange. That means, Leo, that we're one of the 0.01% of all the companies in existence that are made that list. That's a pretty big deal. Would you agree? Do you guys follow me? That is how I learned to get better in my business. It's just communication. I was still a good person when I was in closing business. I wasn't getting my point across. I lacked communication skills. Some people have the gift of gab. I did not. I had to learn. I had to work on me, okay? The good news for those of you that are just like me, which is probably 99% of all of y'all, is that it can be done. You just have to work on it. It makes sense, right? Okay, what else besides 40 years?
Well, out of those 2,800, we're number 9. And which is we go still gets smaller, so just 9 out of 2,800 is crazy, so.
We're number 9 out of 2,800?
Yeah.
My gosh,
Ranking top 10.
That's getting better.
Wow, that's awesome.
Is that pretty good or what?
Yeah.
All right?
You're ranked number 9? Baby.
Anything else? How about this? I don't know if you know this or not. Maybe you probably do. Okay, so that's in the company, right? Let me just cover 2 more little things. So again, and by the way, when I do this with a client, I'm talking company, I talk about it for about 2 or 3 minutes. I don't spend 30 minutes on it. I spend 2 or 3 minutes. What I just shared with you, you can do it 2 or 3 minutes. People, let me make sure you all know this. People do not buy our investments or insurance because our company is so amazing. They buy it because of you.
Right.
You're the messenger. They buy into you, Mayra. They buy into you, Crisanta. They could care less. They just want to make sure the company's legit, it's for real, whatever. But in reality, they don't buy. Nobody buys Primerica because it's Primerica. They buy because of the delivery that you have, the messenger. Do you guys follow me on that? Yes. So I don't spend a lot of time on that. They just need to know we're a big deal. But at the end of the day, just because we're a big deal and you don't do a good job of being likable, people will not buy from you or join your team unless they like you and trust you. Write that down. Like you and trust you. Like you and trust you. They gotta like you and trust you. Now, like I mentioned to the couple I met with John earlier, listen, I'm an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not a naturally conversationalist type of guy. Matter of fact, I'm nerdy. I'm a nerd. And that's okay, I'm a rich nerd, okay? I don't mind being nerdy because I keep away from bad people, which is like a lot of you. I bet you pick your friends closely, right? I mean, you don't just hang out with anybody. I don't. I hang out with people that, I'm not saying they're perfect, but I don't hang out with guys or people that drink and excessively, or, don't get me wrong, I'll have a beer every once in a while, right? But do drugs, I mean, who wants to be around that? I was giving Adrian an example. I think it was Adrian. I think it was you, Adrian, or was it with you? When I was in 10th grade, there was a guy, when you're in 10th grade, I don't know about you guys, I grew up broke, right? So nobody had a car that I knew of, right? We all walked around, our parents took us everywhere. One of my good friends, Rudy, he used to have a 55, I think it was 55 red candy apple red Chevrolet Impala, really nice. It's lowrider. It had curb feelers and all that stuff, right? It was a chick magnet, right? He was the only guy that had a car. Are you kidding? That guy had a beard, man. I was like, a man. I was still trying to grow a hair out here, right? He would pick me up on a Saturday night. It was me, him, and two other guys. And one day we were driving on 10th Street, trying to, pick up chicks. You know how it is. Your hands out there, hey baby, right? You know how it is, right? Of course, nobody ever, you know how it is. It's the guy thing, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm in red, right? But anyway, one of the guys took out a joint. I looked at the guy. What the heck? I won't say what I said, but what the heck is that? What does it look like to joint? I said, Rudy, stop right now, pull over, and let me get out of this freaking car. Carlos, loosen up, relax. No, you don't understand, man. I have a vision of where I hit in my life, and being and having a misdemeanor or a felony, whatever, is not in my book. So pull over right now, or you make him throw away his crap right away. Carlos, relax. I'm not gonna relax, bro. Just pull over. I'll figure out a way home. I was adamant about that. You understand that, right? I'm not gonna get. Listen. The reason why you should be careful with your kids hang out with is because even though you can do a good job as a parent, somebody else may do a bad job as a parent, and your kids will go down as well, right? And my point is, like I told Adrian, I'm not a perfect person, but I have a compass, a moral compass, and your gut doesn't lie to you. It tells you yes or no. We know what the right thing should be, right? So my point is, when I joined the business, my heart was in the right place. I just lacked the communication skills. But I don't know how successful you've been in Primerica right now, but let me ask you this. On 1 to 10, 10 being you have a great heart, 5 in the middle, 1 never, where's your heart at? You're like 11, right? You're like freaking off the chain, right? Let me ask you this. Has your performance matched your ability? Probably not, right? So we got to ask ourselves this. Why am I not successful where I need to be? You're a good person. You just have to perform better. You see what I mean? Everything's fixable in our business, folks. You just have to learn. My problem wasn't my desire, my ability, my drive, my ambition, all that stuff. It was my people skills. I had to learn how to communicate a message. And to me, number 1, of course, is the Lord, Savior. But number 2 is financial freedom. If you read the Bible, folks, there are more passages about money and finance in the Bible than there is about the devil and Satan. Okay? Why is that? Because God knows how important money, being a good steward of money is. That's our message. We want to help people be able to retire well, right? So I had to adjust my communication skills. I had to adjust my sales, right? So let's go back now to, another thing that I cover is we do 2 things. We do a lot of things, but 2 major things. We protect people if they live too long. It's called retirement, right? Or if they die too soon, right? Called life insurance. You guys get it, right? Yeah. That's basically what we do. That's all we do. We do auto insurance, homeowners, and all that stuff. That's like McDonald's. Listen, McDonald's sells McRibs once in a while. They sell McFlurries. What else do they sell? Have you had
McCafes?
Yeah, which is not bad. I've actually had them. They're pretty good. They're cheaper than Starbucks, right? Or $4 coffee, right? But their bread and butter is the Big Mac and French fries. Well, our Big Mac and French fries is going to be the life insurance and the retirement account. That's our bread and butter. If that's all you master how to communicate that message, Leslie, we're going to have an incredible business, right? So my point is, we got to keep it short and simple, folks. Okay, we can't make this thing complicated. So I spent about 2 or 3 minutes on the company. So now let's talk about concepts. So we already talked about company, right? All right, who took some good notes on the company part? Stephanie? On the company part, give me what you covered so far.
Okay.
Or as far as things to talk about. Point out, I guess.
I'm sorry, I'm going to go back up to the
stock exchange.
How many companies do you think are in the United States?
I would say, okay, well, that's a good question, huh? I would say, if I was like anybody else, I'd probably say 3 million, because most people aren't. Is that what you're gonna say? Yeah, 3 million. But I had about an extra 30 seconds to think about it, so I said 20 million. But I would ask somebody that. How many companies do you? By the way, that's a great question. In America, how many companies do you think exist? And it doesn't matter what the answer is. There's no wrong answer. The point is to get them engaged in the conversation. Get them engaged. When I was new, another problem, one of my problems when I first started was I would talk and wouldn't let them say anything. Because I figured if they said anything, it'd probably be negative and I'd probably be out of the door. Because I'm like, I'm going to keep talking until they say yes. Well, it doesn't work that way. Okay? I learned that it has to be a conversation, not a presentation. So write that down on your notes if you're taking notes. Every presentation's got to be a conversation, not a presentation. What does that mean? Get them to exchange with you. How do you do that? By getting them to ask questions. Ask questions, okay? I'm sorry, Stephanie, go ahead.
So if you can imagine in your head 20 million, so there's, and only 2,800 of them are on the New York Stock Exchange, and we're one of them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Is it really 10?
No, 9 or 7.
Okay, we haven't.
No, that clock never got changed.
Like, man, I'm already late. Okay, sorry.
Daylight standard time.
I know, there you go. Steph?
So, could you feel comfortable doing business with a company that is on the New York Stock Exchange, is rated very high, and could you feel comfortable?
That's a good question. The way I would phrase it, if you don't mind me interfering, what I would say is, wouldn't it feel wonderful to do business with a company that's on the New York Stock Exchange, knowing that only 0.01% of all companies in America are on that exchange? That's what I would say. And just to put it a little bit better, positive way to do it. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. I'm sure y'all probably have a better idea. I'm just giving you what I would say. One thing about me, like I told Adrian, I'm not a dictator. I don't talk down to people. I do not. I'm not judgmental. I don't berate anybody. I don't cuss at anybody. My biggest flaw is probably I care too much for people sometimes. What does that mean? That I care for people even when I probably should give up, and I don't. And so sometimes I get hurt. It's just the way it is. But that's part of business, right? It's just the way it is. And I think that's, most of y'all understand because you probably go through the same thing. It's like I treat you guys like my kids, and you have faith in your kids all the time. And sometimes they don't earn it or deserve it, but it is what it is, right? But I don't give up on people. So I'm not. And by the way, whenever I teach you all something, I'm not saying mine's the only way. I'm not. If you find another presentation that works for you, please use it. All I care about is you become successful, right? January the put this on your calendar. January 12th and 13th. I believe it's 12th and 13th. It's a million more than I do a year. I don't know about you, but that's pretty good. It'll be at the Embassy Suites here in San Marcos. Again, January 12th and 13th. Listen to me. I don't think people understand this. When was the last time a multi-millionaire, you could spend time with them? I think the tickets are $15 for the ticket. It's a Friday. It's for both days, includes both. It's nothing, $15. When was the last time somebody said, you had access to someone like that? I mean, it's impossible. Y'all follow me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, Stephanie, go ahead. I interrupted again.
I'm kind of confused about what you want. You just want us to ask the question.
Oh, no. What are some facts? Well, we can change it later on, but what are some things that you got from what I just said? What are some
1977.
Yeah, been around since 77. What else? Because you raised your hand when you told me that you took the notes.
I have a bunch. It's all
Just to tell you.
She took all the notes. That's the problem.
Yeah, here you go.
So you can feel comfortable. You would feel pretty good. Well, pretty wonderful, right? Doing business with a company that.
Definitely, especially when you do your hand like that. It makes me believe you more.
All right.
Okay, we'll stop there. Let's go.
Yeah,
to
it was
this
New
one.
York
Good
Stock
job, man.
Exchange,
Good job.
1977, and then I don't remember the last
So
one.
again, 77, 40 year in business.
Rated
New York
9
Stock
out of the most
Exchange,
50 most
number 9 out
trusted.
of all the financial services companies globally, right? What else here? Let's go now to concepts.
No, we're
I talk about the
all the
theory
financial companies.
of decreasing responsibility. The Schwashvita looking thing, right? And I talk about it in the early years, right? So I talk about that concept really quick. I don't spend a lot of time on it, maybe about 40 seconds. This is all I say. Leo, in the early years, people get married or start off from scratch after college, whatever, out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
They have little money saved because it takes time to accumulate wealth. Would you agree?
Yes.
But what they do have, is high responsibility. They got kids, they got a mortgage, they got debt, they got student loans. So a death in the family could really devastate a family. Would you agree?
Yes.
So we believe as a company, when people don't have a lot of money, is to have had a lot of life insurance, enough to be able to pay off all these debts so the family's okay. Makes sense, right? After about 20, 30 years from now, I know it's not exactly perfect, right? After 20, 30 years from now, once they're 65 years old, kids are gone, they're on their own, now independent, house paid for, debt is gone, right? It's gone, everything, right? So now their need for life insurance decreased. So when they're 65, they really don't need a lot of life insurance, and also had time to accumulate some wealth with their 401ks and IRAs and stuff, right? So that's what we do, is we teach people how to do that. Does that make sense? Yes. Absolutely. That's a very incredible thing, right? So I cover that. So I would put on your paper, if you're taking notes on the concepts, talk about the theory of degree responsibility, right? Okay. I'm going to erase it, okay?
Good.
I know it's perfect. I mean, I did a good job of writing this thing down. Right now, what else? I cover the rule of saying too. Why? Like I said before, Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world.
The most powerful law to mankind.
It's amazing how money compounds over time. Does that make sense, right? So I cover that. I cover the 3%. Let's say your rich uncle, or an uncle, don't have to be rich. For 10 grand, you don't have to be rich, okay? Maybe about 100 years ago. But let's say your uncle gives you 10 grand. He says, he wants you to invest it, and the only stipulation is it's got to be for 48 years. And you put it 3, 6, and 12. And it goes from, I think, what is this, 40,000?
Yeah.
It doubles twice, right? 10, 20, 40 grand.
Then 120.
Over here is what?
120.
I'm sorry?
I think it's 120.
120? Or was it 160?
Oh,
Let's just say, I think it's 160.
It's 160. Yeah.
And then over here it's 2.5 million. I'm just curious, John. I'm just curious, Alicia. Where would you rather have your money? At 3, 6, or 12? Going this, or this? This is all we do. It's not rocket science. Y'all get it, right? I cover that concept, right? Some words that I use, some phrases I use is I ask them, Stephanie, have you ever heard of Merrill Lynch?
Yeah.
What Merrill Lynch does for the wealthy, we do for the everyday working family.
Sounds good.
Otis, you heard of Merrill Lynch, Otis? What Merrill Lynch does for the wealthy, we do for the everyday working family.
That's good.
What am I doing? What do I tell people? We basically brought Wall Street to Main Street. Wall Street to Main Street. That's a big deal. Would you agree?
Yes.
That's all I do at a client's house, folks. I don't keep it complicated. Very simple. My presentation is like 21 minutes. Okay? Now, so I cover that. Third concept I cover is going to be the financial house, right? So I covered the theory of degree responsibility, Rule of 72, right? The financial house. And if you see my presentation, by the way, I just did one 2 weeks ago. I forgot my paper thing. I just did it on a blank sheet of paper, and I close anyway. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have it pre-done, pre-drawn, whatever you call it. All right, so anyway, I always draw the house, the door, but you don't need to. Okay, so foundation, right? So this is what I ask. I'm just curious, Gloria, what's the most important part of a house to make sure it's secure?
Foundation.
Foundation. That's a phrase, if I were you, I'd put it on your repertoire, right? I'd put it on your presentation. Maida, what's the most important part of a house to make sure it's secure? Foundation, right? And the foundation of a financial house is going to be the insurance. Why? Because it protects against catastrophe, financial catastrophe, right? And the insurance is auto, home, health, okay, and life. And this is what I say, John. Auto insurance is pretty much mandatory.
Yep.
So I say pretty much because it's mandatory, but a lot of people still don't get it, right? But you know what I mean, right? It's pretty much mandatory. Homeowners insurance as well. Health insurance pretty much with Obamacare, and then there's life insurance. Out of all these four, John, life's the only one that's not mandatory. So guess what a lot of people do? They don't purchase it. It's not because they don't care about their families. It's because they don't understand the value of it. Is that right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I explained to them what life insurance is. This is what I say. Crisanta, when somebody passes away, most people think that all you need is a burial policy to pay off, for the burial. But let me ask you this: wouldn't it make sense to have money there to pay? Because guess what doesn't stop? The electric bill, water bill, grocery bill, that doesn't stop coming, right? So doesn't it make sense to have enough money not just to pay for burial, but to replace to have income coming in?
Yes.
That's how I explain life insurance. It's income replacement. Replace someone's income. Okay? And like I was sharing with Adrian, like I share with anybody, right? You build a financial house from the ground up. You don't start from the roof down. Have you ever passed by a house being built and they start with a roof? No, they start with a foundation, right? Why do I say that? Because I've come across a few clients when I was weak, when I was meek, when I wasn't really good at what I did. Well, we don't care about the insurance. We just want to start an IRA or a college fund. College fund first. And I was a weenie. Oh, okay, Mr. I was just glad to have a client. You understand what I'm saying, right? I mean, seriously, man, you know what I mean, right? Like, dude, I'll take it, man. I'll take an auto insurance right now. My point is, and like I told him, right, competence gives you confidence. Write that down. Competence gives you confidence. The reason why you cannot miss a training is because, listen, some of you guys already know what to do. You're just like one or two little things away from exploding. Just one or two little things, concepts, a phrase, technique, something from a major explosion. And if you miss training, you could miss that explosion. Do you understand that, right? A giant forest fire starts with the first spark. That's why you cannot miss a training. Because you just don't know what you don't know. Okay? If I were to tell you exactly what it was that caused me to explode, I don't know. I know this. I'd come to training, nothing would happen. I'd come to school, nothing would happen. I wanted it to happen. And I was just, meager in the business. And all of a sudden I exploded, man, from 1 year to the next. I went from 20,000 a year to 101,000. Incredible. People say, man, what happened? If I knew the formula, I would tell you. I didn't know the formula. I just know it's accumulation of a lot of things. In fact, you've heard this phrase before. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Have you all heard that before? Mm-hmm. Yes. Right? This is the problem. It wasn't that one little straw. It was the accumulation of all these straws, and then the last one was the defining moment, right? Same thing with getting better. The same thing with being successful. You cannot miss training. You got to read books. You got to work on yourself. Like I mentioned before, Benjamin Franklin said, empty the coins of your purse into your mind will fill your purse with coins, right? You have to know that, right? So on the financial house, I don't keep it complicated. Insurance, that's number one, right? That's number one. Number 1A is the legal part, which you already heard me talk about, the will, the living will, and power of attorney. And I explained it a little bit really quick, it doesn't take long. Number 2, so that's 1A. 2 is the emergency fund. 3 is going to be the retirement accounts, or retirement, you can just say retirement. It could be IRAs, right? And then 4 is going to be college funds. That's what we do. Mr. Client, if I were to put that in your life financially, where you have your financial house in order, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much better would you feel knowing you have your financial house in order? 10. A 10, right? Richard, how would you feel?
Feel great.
Think about this, folks. People struggle because they have no financial gain. In fact, I didn't cover this, Adrian, with you. I'm going to cover it with you. Because we talked a little bit about this, but in case you haven't, some of y'all have heard this before, right? The 3 reasons people fail financially. Number 1, they don't have a financial coach. They don't have a financial coach. Guess what you're going to be to them? Their financial coach. I'm not saying perfect coach. The thing is this, a coach. If you don't have to be perfect in Primerica. I wasn't that good 27 years ago. I wasn't that good 25 years ago. I'm better now than I was before. I tell people, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Correct? So my clients that I served, as I was getting better, they're better off than they were before because I had some knowledge. I had some value. Okay? So, listen, there's a book called, it's by, let's see here real quick. The New Excellent Investment Advisor. What's his name? Anybody know?
Nick Murray.
Nick Murray. Again, write that name down. That guy is probably the best author I've ever read about explaining complex math as far as stocks and bonds to layman's terms. He's unbelievable. Nick Murray. Nick Murray.
What's the name of the book again?
Well, he has a few. One's called Serious Money. The Art of Marketing Mutual Funds, but that was the first one I read. It was really good. The New Excellent Investment Advisor. Okay? And in the book, he says, this is what he says, which is a great analogy, by the way. Imagine, Nelson, you're in a log cabin out in Colorado right now. It's 10 degrees below zero. You're cold. There's a fireplace. You take a piece of lumber, right? What do you call a log, I guess? Okay, you put it in the fireplace. And you go back to your sofa and you're like, right? But you never light it, right? So you put a log in. So man, I'm still cold. So you get another log, you put it in the fireplace, and you come back, and you're still cold. You finally put so many logs in, it's coming out of the darn thing, but you never light it, and you're still cold, right? He explains that's what knowledge is. If you keep waiting to get more knowledge before you talk to anybody, you're not igniting the flame. There's no right time to get married, have kids, buy a house, or go do Primerica. I added the last one. That's my little thing, okay? It doesn't say that, but the last one is mine. It's never the right time. You just got to go do it and get in front of someone, and little by little you're going to get better. Right? Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better than your better's best. Right?
Again?
Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better than your better's best. Make sense? So my point is, folks, you gotta get out there and play in traffic to get better. You can't be Carlos, I'm not ready. You gotta run with what you have right now, folks. Right? So I go through that. I'm not going through the whole thing, but that's what I do. Now, after I'm done with that, I can direct it in two ways. Okay, so I already covered company, I covered concepts, now I'm gonna go to compensation, right? So let's do this. Okay. After you do the concepts, by the way, let me ask you this. I'm gonna role play. Adrian, so you're kind of new. Can you come up here? I want you to role play with everybody. Okay. Imagine I'm with Adrian at his house, right? Because I've done this before at clients' houses, right? This is what I want you to. So pretend they're not here. Okay. I know it's hard, right? Especially Leslie, because she's so loud. I'm kidding. She's so quiet. Okay. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to role play with me, okay? Again, I do this at a client's house. You've heard me. In fact, Mike does a good job of this as well. I want you to take your right hand and go like this. That represents your income. Get your left hand and put it underneath here. That's your expenses. That gap in between, Adrian, is called quality of life. In other words, when you make an income and you pay your expenses, and the bigger the gap, the better your quality of life is because you have more money left over. That makes sense? Let me ask you a quick question. In America today, is the cap big, like this, or small for the average person out there? What do you think it is?
That's pretty slim.
Pretty slim, right? In fact, some people are kind of topsy-turvy because they have a credit card debt and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? So let me ask you this. Put your hand like this. So imagine the average person's like this right now. This is your income. This is your expenses. If we showed you how to make more income, go like this, what would happen to that gap? It gets bigger, right? Okay, bring it down. Number two, we show you how to lower your expenses. Maybe lower your auto insurance premiums. Maybe lower your homeowner's insurance. Maybe lower your life insurance. Go like this. What happens to the gap? It gets bigger, right? Okay, put it back. Now, what makes more sense, Adrian? Just making more money, okay? Or two, lowering your expenses, or two, or three, do both. Do both, right? The gap is bigger, right? So if I could show you how to do both, would that be a good thing or a bad thing for you?
A good thing.
You'd be okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. Thanks. Have a seat. Thanks. Does that make sense? Well, America sat down with Mary and I 27 years ago. We were living paycheck to paycheck, like most people, right? And yes, I got a mutual fund for $50 a month back then. And after that, I wasn't even sure I could afford $50. I was sweating it out. I kid you not. Mary was not the security conscious person I was. Trust me, she goes shopping, no big deal. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? What? I'm like, hey, I just saw that new dress in the closet. Oh, it's not old. It's not new, it's old. Like, how old? Like a week. That's new. And and she come back, she had to buy matching shoes. I'm like, why? Don't you have black and brown? I mean, what do you need to match everything? I mean, that's crazy to me. It bothered me. I don't know if anybody can relate with that. Maybe it's just a guy thing. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I was very secret. So Primerica told me how to start back then it was traditional rate for $50 a month. And I was telling her, I don't know, man. I used to take my lunch to work at the pharmacy because I was worried about, I wanted to make sure I get that going, right? But Primerica, if that's all Primerica did, they gave me more coverage for my money. I actually saved money on my life insurance. I started my IRA. If that's all they did for me, that's a good thing. Would you agree? Yes. But they showed me a way to make more money for my family. And now so my Mary could quit her job, be a full-time mom. I take care of my kids. I mean, college is not a problem. My point is, money is no issue. Is that pretty awesome? Yes. The opportunity is really what helped me tremendously. It's kind of like this. The concepts make sense and they work, but if you only have limited amount of money, you have limited amount of money. Right. But if you have more money coming in and you're doing the concepts, you get to what? Maximize the return, right? So right here then, and this is what I ask people, make sure y'all understand this. So this is a problem that I see in our company all across the board. When they're done with a presentation, you have no idea where to direct people. This is what I ask them. Adrian, I'm just curious, okay? Based on what you've seen so far about our business, our company and the New York Stock Exchange, right? Our concepts, which is about helping you make more money for retirement and for now, and making sure you have enough life insurance. Based on what you've seen so far, what part of a business makes more sense to you? Actually, you know what? Yeah. What makes more sense to you right now? Applying information so you can get better financially? Joining our business and making more extra income for yourself, or both? By both? Okay. Do y'all follow me? Yes. Folks, my business changed when I started asking that question. How many of y'all believe in ESP? Anybody here? Y'all know what that means? Not ESPN. ESP. Extra sensory perception. That means you can read other people's minds. Now, I know some women think they can read the husband's mind. I know that. I know y'all probably can't, right? I don't know. But my point is, most of us have no idea, right? So I was playing ESP with people. They're probably not interested in the business. He's a doctor, he's a pharmacist, he's an attorney, makes all this money. There's no way he'd be interested in making extra money. Are you kidding me? What I figured out is people that make good money want to make more money, right? So instead of me guessing and having the guessing game, Leo, I just learned to ask. Based on what you've seen so far and applying it to your life right now, Leo, I'm just curious, what appeals to you the most? Becoming a client, right, to get all your ducks in order when it comes to money. 2, making more money. Or 3, both. Okay. So from there, I direct them. I'm still going to do the F&A, the financial needs analysis, right? Which is the dime, right? I'll go over that with y'all later if you don't know what that means. But figure out how much they need, right? I will implement that. But from here, I go to the compensation. So let me show you, Leo, how we make money. Is that okay with you? And I'll even say, listen, Alicia, you don't mind making more money if it's helping other people. Would you agree? Is that okay with you? It wouldn't offend you? Right, because the lady we talked to today, AJ and Jessica, I said, listen, Jessica, if I help y'all make more money, say $200,000 a year, you wouldn't hate me later on, would you? She started laughing. Of course, I mean, you wouldn't be mad at me, that darn Carlos, man. Now I got a tax problem. You would be mad? I said, would you be mad at me? She goes, heck no. I said, okay, so make sure. Because I don't want you to curse me out in 2 or 3 years. I want you to get mad at me because I change your life forever, right? So from there, folks, I go to the comp. Or I go to the dime. But I'm going to do both either way, right? So how do we go for the comp? I keep it simple, okay? How many of you guys are doing my presentation right now? When you sit down with a client? Honestly. Sandy? Nelson? Anybody here?
No, my dad is.
Your dad is?
Mm-hmm.
You're still doing it your old way?
No, I mean, I'm doing yours, but
okay. No, it's okay.
Going with you all the time, so.
Oh, yeah. You're using
I'm absolutely using your presentation. I'm using Carlos.
I don't know why people don't use me. Doesn't make sense, right? Out of everybody in my office, he uses me the most, which I'm glad. I'm out there. You have one tomorrow at 12, right?
Yep.
Where's that one going to be? Del Valley?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'll meet you at 11-ish.
11.
Let's do 11. Between 11 to 11:40. I'm kidding.
I was about to say 11:55. Carlos, where are you?
We had an appointment today at, supposed to be at 4. He calls me at 3:40. I'm not kidding you. I'm in my master shower, whatever. Not my shower, but in my master bathroom. I was just putting my gel on. I'm like, oh shoot, it's John. Hey John, I was hoping it would get his ankles. It's a pretty big. It's about this size, right? I said, hey John, I haven't left yet. I'm about to leave. I said, put my gel, finish my shaving, brush my teeth, but I didn't want you to know that. He says, well, I'll just meet you at the address. I said, okay. I said, I'll do that. I get there, I think 4:26. By the time I park, get through the gate, it was about 4:30. Turns out it was supposed to be for 4:30. And so I was feeling guilty for about 25 minutes. Man, late. So I actually got there on time. That's pretty good. But anyway, so let's get back to this, the comp. On the comp.
Well, he said meet here at 3:30.
This is exactly how I do it at the comp, okay? When it comes to compensation.
He'll be there.
Again, it's KISS, right? I'm going to rope it with you, Adrian, since you're, I just covered it with you anyway. But listen, Adrian, the average person we talk to right now that has life insurance, they're paying about $120 a month for the life insurance. Okay, on average. That's not a heater, right? Feels hot in here, right? Or is it just me?
It's your
Man, it feels like hot as
You're
heck.
fire up there, man.
I know I am. I'm not kidding you, man. It's like,
give me a second.
That's why I had to take off my jacket. I was like, what's going on? I thought it was a heater. I'm like, my gosh, right? Okay, so, Adrian, the average person we talk to is paying $150 a month for life. We can do the exact same thing for like $83 a month. Adrian, if that's all we did, give them the same coverage for about $500 a year less. Betty, can you have another marker?
I think there's 2 on there.
Oh, there is?
I don't know if they...
Those don't work, Coach. I have one.
You have one? Okay. Is that yours or?
Yes.
Can you have it or do you normally carry any research?
I'll carry it.
You know, I'm Hispanic, dude. I'm gonna ask you for it, right? Until you say no, right? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Do we have some? Okay. I don't want to take Ben's. Can you throw it over here, please? Oh, thank you. You don't want to hit me in the eye.
She's like, I
will
hit
pay me this
somebody.
week. I'm gonna write you a check in a little bit. Oh, thank you. All right. So, where are we? Okay. We can do the exact same thing for $83 a month, Adrian. So, let me ask you a question. If that's all we did, we saved somebody $500 a year, but got them the same coverage. Is that a good thing or bad thing? Listen to, I want you, well, I don't know about you. One thing about me, I am a sponge. I am like a parakeet. When I was in college of pharmacy, I told Adrian this, there was only 2 people that beat me in academics when I was in pharmacy school. And that was because they were extraordinary. They were very mentally talented. I could not beat them if I wanted to. They were just incredible. But everybody else, they were just lazier. And I was good at techniques. I figured out, I would write down everything my professor said. And then when I get home, I would figure out what was important and what's not. But I would take notes like crazy. So what I just said right now, I would ask that question. I would write it down. If the average person's paying about $120 a month on life insurance, and we can do the exact same thing for only $83 a month, and that's all we did. We saved this family $500 a year. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? How many of y'all can repeat what I just said?
Yeah.
That's a piece of cake, right? That's not rocket science. You don't have to be some special person, right? Then I would say, let me ask you this, Adrian, and I know I already covered this with you about an hour ago, but let me ask you this, Adrian. If our clients average do about $83 a month for the life insurance, and you were in our business, you were licensed, how much do you think they'd pay you to do this for a client, you think?
No, I think I said like not very much.
How much?
Like not very much, like a small percentage.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. And I said and that's what I told him. Like most people tell me $25, $50. Okay? Let's just say $50. If it takes an hour to do this for a client, and they pay you $50 an hour, is that worth it? Yeah. Let me ask you that. Leo, you have a job, right?
Yeah.
Are they paying you? Where do you work at?
Dovetail Custom Home Works.
I'm sorry? Dovetail?
Dovetail.
Okay. Oh, Dovetail, sorry. Let me ask you this. Are they paying you close to $50 an hour?
No.
Probably not, right? So if you were with us part-time and you could help a client do the right thing for them financially, take care of their family, and they're going to pay you $50 an hour, is that pretty awesome?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, right? Well, let me show you exactly how we get paid. In fact, let me go back to Adrian. So Adrian, this is the way we do it. Client pays $83 a month, times 12 months in a year, that's $1,000. I'm going to help, our first major promotion is district leader. That's a 50% contract. What's 50% of $1,000? $500, right? So 1 hour, Adrian, you get paid $500. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you guys follow me? I keep it short and simple. I do not complicate Primerica. Okay? The definition of genius is to take something that's very complex and make it simple for others to understand. That's the definition of genius, okay? So, and again, so that was the first question. Good thing, bad thing. I asked like 2 or 3. Then I would say, Adrian, listen, if it takes 1 hour to do this for a client, how many of these could you do on a part-time basis? Or write that question down. If it takes an hour to do this for a client, how many of these could you do on a part-time basis per week? And I let them reply. Okay? Because again, if I say that, but if they say it's true, right? So, again, everybody's different. I think you had told me 10? I forgot. Yeah, so I said, okay,
Do
so let's
them all.
say 10. What's 10 times 500? It's 5,000. And again, I use their numbers, right? And there's 4 weeks in a month, so that's 20,000 a month. Right? So, times 12, that's 240,000 a year. So I'm curious, Adrian, would an extra 240,000 a year help you or hurt you? Help you, right? Folks, y'all follow me? This is all I do. It blows my mind. Hey, Daniel, how you doing, buddy? By the way, I just want to let you know that Leslie knows that she can read your mind. Just to let you know. It blows my mind how many people complicate this. A lot of people, instead of doing what, copying me, listen, Primerica is a copycat business. Just make sure you're copying the right cats. Do you guys follow me? This is not complex. I don't need you to be intuitive and intellectual. I want to come on my own way. You know what? Why don't you follow my way for now? You get this ring, make $100,000 a year, and then you can reinvent the wheel if you want. That okay with y'all? I won't get offended. But let's get to $100,000 first, and then you can tell me you have better ideas. Okay? And not that I can't take your ideas now. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is, I just get frustrated with people that try to do their own thing and it's not working. Have you heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't break it? Yes. Well, some of y'all don't know it's broken, so break it. Your method is not working right now. Because how do I know? Look at your results. You got to be results oriented at some point, right? All right, so I went with the compensation. Now, how do you transition from here to taking action, right? Because again, it doesn't matter how good you convey a message. Number one, it's got to be understood. It's got to be a message that people can understand, right? And 2 is to take action. And there's 2 actions we need people to take for them to win. One is get their financial house in order. You guys follow me? Like, we haven't done your I don't know, John's done your life insurance or IRA. For $50-$60 a month, get your life insurance, a small policy. You know, you can put your girlfriend, you can put your mom. I don't want to start a controversy there. You can do each, whatever. I know, sorry about that. I didn't mean to start a controversy. You know what I mean, right?
I know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm sorry. I've got a little. What's your name again? I'm joking, right? You know I'm joking. I know. I'm just joking with you. My point is, and get an IRA, get a Roth IRA going. What's it gonna hurt? How old are you, Leo?
24.
24 years old to age 65. That's 41 years of 20. Let's just say $25 a month. It's gonna be worth $300,000 or $400,000. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Yeah, I'm serious. It's pretty good. We need to get people into taking action, folks. Okay. Otis, have a good night. Otis, we'll see you, buddy.
Thank you.
See you Tuesday night.
All right. DJ. DJ.
And so again, taking action on the financial house. Get it started. And IBA, Independent Business Application. We're the only financial services company in America. Adrian, let me ask you this, since you're basically new, right? So you sit down with a client, and they're not where they need to be financially. They have nothing. I mean, I'm talking. They have no IRAs, no retirement accounts, no life insurance. They're living life on accident, basically. They need more money. Money's tight. Do you understand? There's companies out there, Adrian. Guess what the average company would tell that person? Call me back whenever you come across money. That's what they would say. hey, obviously you're in bad shape right now financially. Why don't you call me when you have some money, right? Our company's not like that. You know what our company says? You know what? Obviously money's tight right now. What you need right now is more income. And if you're open-minded, if you're open, and you're willing to pay for your background check, which is $99, we'll help you get licensed so you can make more money so you can fund your financial house. Primerica talked to me 27 years ago, helped me finance my financial house, and became a multi-millionaire. Is that freaking amazing?
Yes.
You don't understand how amazing that is. I mean, is that cool or what?
Yes.
Merrill Lynch, number one, never would have called me because I didn't have $250,000 minimum to start. Primerica did. You guys follow me, right? Yes. So, this what time is it right now? It's about 20 till?
9:42.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up with that.
Good stuff tonight, Coach. Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I'm glad you guys are here on Friday night. Okay? What I want you to do is, this is what I want you to do before we leave. Look at your notes. Circle 3 or 4 things that you got from today that you can implement and start using. Like today, tomorrow, the next day. Circle 3 or 4 things. That's the advantage of going on training is, yeah, there's a lot of info. I cover a bunch of ground. Now I want you to circle 3 or 4 things that are impactful for you. It could be something you heard before, you just didn't implement. It could be something you've been implementing, but maybe now makes more sense. It could be something that you learned today that's new. I don't know. Did y'all circle? Y'all don't like to circle and mess up your system? Yeah. I know, I can tell by you writing little notes on the side like, I'm not an A, Carlos, I'm an S. You're an S? Yeah. I don't. I just circle star 3 times.
Yep.
That's what I do. Like,
mark it somewhere.
Ooh, this is good. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm going to have to come back to this later because this is big. Yeah, that's what I do in my notes. You know.
I promise I never go back to
it. When I'm going back to my notes, that's got 3 stars. It's got to be important. All right, guys. Again, just to reiterate, so next Tuesday is our money making seminar here at the office. I believe Mary's going to have a, what do you call it, disco light or something like that, right? Number 1, number 2.
I told you.
I know, John, you have like 2 people coming?
Yeah, at least.
AJ?
I got about probably 4 or 5. Okay, hopefully by Tuesday I got 10.
Okay, awesome. And Adrian,
then that way you take me to Paris.
For the orientation?
No,
okay. If you need a ride, just let me know. I'll anybody, you live off 52nd and I-35, you said?
Yeah, well, like North Loop.
North Loop. I know I've heard that name before. I just don't know where it is.
Did I hear him say try?
I'm sorry?
Did I hear him say try?
Oh.
I'll have. Oh.
Adrian, come over here. Let me show you something. This is gonna help. Thank you, the bull. Thank you, the bull.
Thank you.
Do me a favor. I do this at a client's house. Grab this real quick. Okay, I want you to try to drop it. Try, yeah. Go like this, and try to drop it. Just try. Yeah, try to drop it. You didn't try, you did, didn't you? Yeah. So Adrian, will you not be here Tuesday night? All right, man. We'll see you. Yeah, that was good, right? I like it. And by the way, Adrian, I learned that at a meeting like a long time ago, like over 25 years ago, and I started using it, man. And because we all use the word try. I've even caught myself doing that stupid statement. It's a stupid. I've said it before. I'm gonna try to do this, and right away I'm like, Carlos, really? You're gonna try means will not. There's 3 ways to overcome that objection. Just to let y'all know, 3 ways. In case have you heard me say the 3 ways? It's been a while, so let me explain to you the 3 ways to overcome that objection. Have it on try. If they say I'll try to be there Tuesday night, the first one is what I just shared. You grab your generic pen. Never use your Mont Blanc, right? $200 pen. I would not let it break. I'd give him a generic pen, and I would have. Can you do me a favor? Can you just grab it just like I did with Adrian? Try to drop it. And sometimes they'll go like this, whatever, it's cute. Anyway, point is, either you do or you don't. Heck, Star Wars, Yoda said there is no try, just do. Have you heard that, or is it just me? So I do that, and then I say, so will you not be there Tuesday night? No, I'll be there, Carlos. Okay, that's one way. The second way to overcome the objection, I'll try. And listen, Leo, I heard a very wise and successful person once say that try means will not. So will you or will you not be there Tuesday night? And no, I'll be there. That's the second way. The third way is the Texas way. Okay?
It's gotta be good.
You know, we're from Texas, Leo. I'm just curious. Have you heard of a steer?
Steer?
You know what a steer is?
Like the thing you put on behind, like what is it?
Well, a steer used to be a bull.
Okay.
Steers try. So William may not be there Tuesday night. Now, I learned that from Jim. Jim from Texas, he could get away with that. I just would never, I never felt comfortable using it with a client, okay? Because too much of a visual, I guess, I don't know. But I use the first one daily, okay? Do you know what a steer is? Well, yeah, a steer used to be a bull. Steers try. Some of you guys will get in the right home, probably, right? What do you mean, Carlos? We'll talk later on, man. After your mom and talked about the birds and the bees, we'll have that conversation if we have to. Anybody have any questions on anything? I know tomorrow we have a 12 o'clock, is that correct? So I encourage you guys to work this weekend. Go out there and meet people. Folks, listen, people will not benefit if you stayed home. Your decision to go out there and work could impact someone's life one day. You understand how powerful? The reason why I love what I do is because I knew what we do matters to people. And trust me, sometimes I don't feel like doing something. I mean, how many times? I can't tell how many times I don't feel like going to the gym, but I do it anyway. Right? I can't tell how many times I wish I could eat better. Don't get me wrong, I still don't eat great. Now, in fact, I just made it before well, it doesn't matter. The reason I was late is I made a whole chicken and I couldn't even eat it. It's in the fridge right now, waiting for me to carve it. It's like, but you know, you're more important. Your clients are more important, right? I'll eat it later, man. I'll put it back in the oven for 10 minutes, cook it up, whatever, warm it up, whatever. I use Falfurrias butter. Have you ever had Falfurrias butter? No. It'll change your life. It's really buttery, like negative white, like, but it tastes so good, man. I put it all over the chicken. I rubbed it all over the chicken. I even put a little piece inside that little whole thing. I cannot wait. My mouth is watering. I haven't eaten since like 3 o'clock. Okay.
I used to eat a whole rotisserie chicken every day.
Yeah. So listen, we all try, but we gotta do it. Okay. So anyway, guys, you want to step up with the chairs to put them away, or how do you want to do it, Mike?
Yeah, just leave 7 padded chairs.
Leave 7 padded chairs. Will you be upset with me? Leave 8. I'm joking with you. Let's leave 7 padded chairs. You guys have a